Good morning students. Welcome to the next bio class. We will start with the fourth chapter, the flower. So in this chapter we will discuss about the various terms which are used to describe or used with all the whorls of the flowers. As you know that flower refers to the reproductive organ of the body. So in order to define, we can say that flower is a specialized shoot in which leaves are modified into the floral structures. So all these petals, sepals which you are familiar with, actually they are modified leaves itself. So first of all, the very first term is the pedicel or the stalk. You must have observed that some flowers have a stalk. This stalk is known as pedicel. But there are flowers which are without any stalk. So such flowers will be called sessile. So you remember by this pedicellate flowers or sessile flowers. Pedicellate with stalk, sessile without any stalk. Then the tip of the stalk, this tip of the stalk, it may be swollen, and this raised structure is known as receptacle or thalamus. You can also call it thalamus. All the parts of the flowers are actually attached to this thalamus. So every flower, complete flower usually has 4 whorls. We say first whorl, that is of green sepals. And sepals, now we will use the biological term which are known as calyx. Inside the sepals, you will see the second whorl which are of large and brightly colored petals. Petals collectively are called as corolla. The next whorl is for the male parts. In bio, we use this symbol to represent the male. So male parts, as you know, you have read they are stamens, but now you will call them androecium. Learn another term, that is androecium, with correct spellings. So each stamen, as you know, that contains a filament. This is the stalk called filament, and this is the anther which bears the pollen grains, which are the male gametes. Inner to this lies the fourth whorl, and the symbol used to describe for female part is this. You will draw it like this. So female parts are known as pistil. This you have read already, but now you will call them as gynoecium. Even we sometimes use the term carpels. And each pistil is made up of 3 parts: the swollen tip stigma, a slender style, and the basal part known as ovary. So the structure you are studying from class 6th onwards. In 4th, 5th, 6th, you have drawn this diagram many times, structure of the flower. So here in this chapter we will read about some more terminology used with flowers. Some basic terms are complete and incomplete flowers. Complete and incomplete, also known as perfect or imperfect. This refers to complete flower is one which has all the 4 whorls, that is sepals, petals, androecium and gynoecium. If all the 4 whorls are present, the flower is called complete. And if any of the whorl is missing, the flower will be called incomplete or imperfect. Then the next terminology is essential and non-essential parts of the flower. See children, the parts which take part directly in reproduction, as you know, this androecium and gynoecium. Androecium will form male gametes, and gynoecium, inside gynoecium will be having female gametes. So these are called essential parts of the flower. And petals and sepals, they help in pollination, they help in protection of these parts, so we call them non-essential, because they do not take part directly. They do not take part in reproduction directly, but they help in one or other way, so we call them non-essential parts of the flower. There are flowers which may not be having petals and sepals, and they are having only essential parts, that is androecium and gynoecium. So it depends upon the type of the flowers. Now the next terminology describes the next term which you are supposed to study is perianth. Perianth refers to, also known as tepals, that is sometimes the petals of a flower are similar than sepals, or sometimes the sepals are exactly like petals. Means there are some flowers in which you cannot differentiate between the sepals and the petals, as both can be of same color. So then we use a collective term, that is perianth or tepals. Then this perianth can be of two types. If the petals are also green, like sepals, we will call sepaloid perianth. And if sepals are non-green, they are also colored just like petals, we will call it petaloid perianth. Okay. Now the next terminology used is bract. Beta, bracts are the leaf-like structures. They are leaf-like structures from which means born on the axils on which the flower is born. The very common example is bougainvillea, shown in the picture, and you might have seen bougainvillea. The pink petals, bright pink petals or sometimes white petals you see, they are not the flowers, they are not the petals of the flower, but they are actually the bracts. Flowers are very small white flowers inside them. So next time when you observe, you try to locate carefully. Okay. The next term is nectaries. Most of the flowers, you know that they have scent, they produce nectar, and you might have seen honeybees and all visiting them to collect the nectar. So from where this nectar is produced? This nectar is produced from specialized nectar secreting cells. And where are these cells present? These cells are called nectaries, and they are situated at any part of the flower, maybe sometimes at the base of the pistil or sometimes at the base of the petals. And this nectar attracts insects like honeybees for cross-pollination. The next terminology describes the sexuality in flowers. Now, depending upon male and female parts, a flower can be bisexual or unisexual. If a flower has both the parts, that is, both stamens and pistil, androecium and gynoecium both together are present in the same flower, that flower is called bisexual flower or also known as hermaphrodite flower. For example, that China rose, commonly called hibiscus, rose, lily, tomato, etc. Okay, and if there are flowers those who have only one of the two parts, either only male part, that is stamens, or they may have only carpels, that is female parts. Such flowers are called unisexual or incomplete. So bisexual, complete or hermaphrodite, and unisexual or incomplete or imperfect. For example, papaya and palm. Now if the flower is unisexual, having only one reproductive part, then obviously it will have either male or it will have either or female. So if male is present, we will call it staminate, means if only androecium is present, we will call it staminate flower. If only female part is present, gynoecium, we will call it pistillate flower. And sometimes a flower may have none of these. For example, the ray florets of sunflower. So in sunflower, you might have seen the yellow colored petals. These are actually the neuter. Such flowers are called neuter, which do not have any of these parts, neither pistil nor this. Or if it is present, it is sterile, not fertile, it is sterile. So such flowers are also known as neuter. Then there is general description of the floral parts. General description about, first of all, about, let's say, calyx. Calyx, as you know, we said that it is the term used for sepals. Now we will learn two terms. One is gamo and one is poly. Gamo is used for fused, that means joined, and poly is used for free. So if sepals are fused, joined, you can see in this, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sepals, they are joined together. We call it gamosepalous. Gamo for fused. And if sepals are free, like this is one, this is second, all are free from each other, means you can easily detach them. One of them can be detached. They are not joined to each other. Such sepals will be called polysepalous. Poly refers to free and gamo refers to fused. The same terms are used for corolla also, that is petals. If the petals are fused, we will call it gamopetalous, and if the petals are free, not fused or not united, we will call it polypetalous. For example, in this picture you can see See, you can see that each there are 4 petals, all 4 are totally separated from each other. So what is the term used? Polypetalous. And these are fused, jointed, so we will call it gamopetalous. Gamosepalous, fused petals, gamopetalous, fused petals. Fine. Now the next topic we will discuss in the next video. Thank you.